But it will be like a sharp pain on my ovaries, but it will just come and then it will go.
Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. If you are new, I know there are a few new subscribers. My name is Puselezo and this is Mzansi Mom. I have a very special guest with me. I have a dear friend. Hi. Can you introduce yourself, friend?
Hi, my name is Thenji. I am a mom of two beautiful boys.
2 monsters.
Or should I say I'm a mom to two terrorists? I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm a mom to two beautiful boys.
So guys, so Thenji and I were actually pregnant together. Our firstborns are quite close to each other, like a week apart, a week or two apart. A week or two apart. But anyway, so we obviously, our pregnancy journey was together. We are netball buddies. That's how we actually met. And she just one day just started sharing her story, just about her difficulty with pregnancy and miscarriage and all of that. So I'm gonna do two segments. We're gonna do two videos. The first one, we're just gonna talk about her just her journey with endometriosis. Hey guys, so
that's a big word.
That thing, endometriosis.
Endometriosis is a disorder where the tissue that makes up the uterine lining, the lining of the womb, grows outside the uterus. Endometriosis is usually found in the lower abdomen or pelvis, but can appear anywhere in the body. Women with endometriosis often have lower abdominal pain, pain with periods, or pain with sexual intercourse, and may report having a hard time getting pregnant. On the other hand, some women with endometriosis may not have any symptoms at all.
Okay, so can you tell us when you first discovered, right? Okay, no man, only something that's wrong, something is not okay. Yeah.
So one time my period was just severe and I was just like period pains, and I think I went on periods for 10 days or so.
Yo.
But usually my period pains would be the first day, the first
that's
2
when
days.
It's heavy.
Yes.
I think that's normal for all girls. Yeah.
So I'd have severe period pains, but that year it would come to a point where I can't even go to work, I can't even function. Yes.
Yo.
So one time I went to the doctor, but I went to the doctor with an aim of just getting, pain tablets.
Oh.
And that year I literally had like lots of headaches. So I was like, now to a point where when I have a headache, it's no longer just drink water and relax. I needed to have tablets, and I couldn't have your Panados, or I needed to have like there's nothing. And I was just tired all the time. I was like, let me just go. So I went to the doctor, and this doctor said to me, you've got fibroids, and if you want to have babies, just maybe try and have babies within 6 months, otherwise you might have issues going forward.
So wait, and then how the fibroids, I'm guessing I don't even know.
Like, what is this person talking? And I mean, at that time I was in my 20s. You would think that it's something that I should know. So it was the first time I'm hearing fibroids.
Hey.
And he says, let's go to the scan. And we went to the scan. He said, do you check this, dark lumps and whatever, those are fibroids, that's what you have. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And he says to me, well, if my advice to you is, if you want to have babies, you need to start now.
But who?
And I was like, I didn't think much about it.
And at that point, was he like, did he name it? After you have endometriosis?
No.
We felt like you just have fibroids. And
I was like, okay.
And then did he say then that's linked to your issues when you have your periods, like the headaches and all of that?
No,
he didn't.
No.
But doctor, okay.
So anyway, I was like, okay. I think he just assumed that I know, and I think that's one of the reasons from then onwards, or maybe now when I go, I would like, my advice is like, if you go to a doctor, ask a lot of questions. Don't just let them just diagnose you. The majority of them, they diagnose you based on what you tell them. So just ask questions if you don't understand. I mean, some of them would actually be willing to explain, but I think they just relax and they don't explain, assuming that you know. I don't know. Okay. I just find that vibe. Okay. So and then that was it. So 2011, I think it was May, whatever, and then I told my husband now.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, and we didn't think about it. And then I spoke to my sisters, and I was like, okay, nobody really knew what
was happening.
Okay, life carried on. Then it was 2012. That's when I got married.
Okay.
So most the period we're preparing to marry, it's a lot of stress and stuff like that. And endometriosis, it gets triggered and gets worsened by the level of stress and all of that.
Okay.
So I think that year, September, we got married, and but it was just a lot of discomfort in the I think in what you call now ovaries, but it will be like a sharp pain on my ovaries, but it will just come and then it will go.
Yeah.
And periods began to be even more severe, period pains, like to a point, headaches, like to a point where I think I was misdiagnosed with migraine. Maybe it was migraine.
Yeah.
But I didn't really go and test and do all the necessary tests for them to say you are migraine. Most of the time, chances are you've got migraine.
Okay.
Sure. So I had headache every single day. And I just assumed because I work with the computer and I've got issues with my eyes, it could be that. I mean, I didn't really think anything to it. It even affect your sexual life because it gets painful at times. Now I'm a newlywed, but you can't really say. You don't want to say, but
you feel bad.
Yeah, you feel bad, and it's not because you don't want. You also want, but I mean, there's this thing.
And now the pain did it just come when you were on your period?
Now it was coming more often. So
even if you weren't on your period.
So previously it would just be period pains, but severe period pains, and now every now and again, if I'm sitting like this and I'm standing up, there'll be that sharp pain. And so one time, I think it was November 14, went to work like normal.
Yeah.
Got to work. In the morning I wasn't really feeling well.
Yeah.
And by 9 o'clock, I think I just stood up and I had this sharp pain to a point where it brought me to tears. And I had a horrible boss at that time. It was like, you can't just pretend you're sick or whatever the case was. Like, maybe, I mean,
maybe I'm being dramatic.
Maybe I'm being dramatic, you know.
But
and then it carried on. Maybe around 9:30 or so, like it became severe to a point where I was like, I need to go to the doctor now.
And it was like a sharp pain.
It was like a sharp pain on my, like right by the ovaries, like just below the uterus.
Yeah.
In the womb area, actually. Uterus. It's not period pains, but it's like I can't explain it, but it goes to a point where you can't sit like this. You have to
like keep bending.
Yes, and the minute any movement that you make is literally. So a colleague of mine is like, okay, let me take you to the doctor.
And wait, is there blood coming out of there?
There's no blood coming out. It's just this horrible pain. So we went to this surgery that's close to our work.
Yeah.
So we get there. Doctor is not there yet. People are waiting, but I'm in pain. So we sit in the waiting room. I'm like trying to keep strong. Because I don't want to be dramatic.
Yeah.
Because I also don't understand what's happening. And I don't know what happened. But I don't know if I didn't black out, but I'm still in control of everything. But it's like I can't see.
No.
I'm feeling hot flashes. I'm in pain.
Oh my word.
I'm literally kneeling down. I am crying. So the receptionist. So this doctor had a receptionist who also happened to be a nurse.
Okay.
So she comes in and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I've got this pain. She's like, do you usually have heavy periods? I'm like, yeah, I have this and blah, blah. Then I explain what I have. By that time, I'm not talking. So he's like, just go to the hospital.
Yeah, go to the emergency room.
Just go to the hospital. So he did checks, did all the tests, went in, then I did all the blood tests and whatever. I think everything that they did was quick because I could get my results, I think same day, or same night or the following day. And he came back to me the following day and he says, oh, you've got endometriosis. I was like, what?
What is that? Yeah.
Immediately I thought endocrine.
Endocrine.
So I'm thinking, should I ask? I think at some point flying, like people are concerned to say this person just got married 2 months ago, and messages are flying in. I'm like, I've got endometriosis.
I'm thinking.
I think at some point I even explained it's the damage of the small intestine.
Thenji.
Following day he came to me. We went to his room.
Yeah.
And he already had pictures to explain to me in detail what does this really mean. So I said to him, okay, I'm tired of explaining to people that I have an issue with small intestines and stuff like that. Can you just explain to someone who doesn't know anything about health or medical so that I can understand? Just tell me. So he basically says your hormones are not balanced.
Okay.
And he said I have more of the
testosterone.
Yeah. And there's a
progesterone.
Yes.
So progesterone is the female hormone.
Yes.
Testosterone is usually in men. Yeah.
Then he started explaining, and he says, okay, in simple terms, to make you understand how serious this is, you do not have female hormones. So if you want to have kids, forget.
What? He actually said that?
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
So now he drops you with this bomb friend.
Yeah.
And he basically says you don't have any female hormones, that you can't have kids.
Yeah.
Is he giving you a solution? Or to him, he says, how a solution?
He's not really saying I don't have a solution. I think because now that I think about it and through my journey of endometriosis, I think he didn't really have a solution because it doesn't have a cure.
Okay.
You just need to manage it. And because already you were saying that I have a severe cases, eventually it needed me to go through an operation to go to
and remove
a procedure and remove it. But I didn't want to do that, obviously.
Okay.
For some
Wait,
reason.
and remove what?
The fibroids.
Okay.
Yeah, the cyst has melted now.
Oh, okay.
I'm I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I'm fairly healthy. Yeah. I exercise well, I eat well, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and then you don't see yourself being that. And I mean, I'm kidding. I'm not really sick.
Yeah.
And he said I need to go on some supplements. I need to help my body to be able to deal with whatever is lacking in my system.
Supplement give you the female hormone.
Yeah, try and do balance my hormones by taking some supplements, that is going to some medication to balance the hormones.
Okay.
And maybe also to help me with some of the symptoms, I need to maybe try and avoid certain things and
like certain foods.
Okay. But not really much into detail. Okay. So headaches were still there, periods were still painful and long, and all of that. Now it comes to a point where it's so bad that I'm not able to live a normal life. I'm tired all the time. I'm sensitive all the time.
As an emotionally sensitive.
Very emotional. I'm very emotional. I get headaches every day.
Sure.
It's like literally I remember I had to always have Sindols in my bag to just drink, to a point where Sindols, when you drink Sindols, you sleep, to a point where I think my body was even getting used to it. And I'm taking all these multivitamins that I'm given. You're doing all the things that you were told to do, but nothing is changing. Now I'm just tired all the time. I'm just getting worse. I can't live a normal life. I can't do things that I love. I can't play netball. I can't exercise. I just want to sleep all the time because I'm just tired all the time. My periods are painful. Every now and again I get this sharp pain. It still comes constantly. And then to a point where my husband was like, because he's a health nut. Okay. He doesn't really believe in medication. Yeah. And he was like, maybe you should try alternative ways of dealing with this whole thing. And so we decided, let's maybe do the homeopath route. So I was like, okay, now it's May. I'm not seeing any progress. I'm still seeing this doctor. Every time I see him, like, it doesn't really say much. Yeah. No, maybe it's time for me to check the gynaes.
Oh, so you had never been to a specialist?
No. So this was just a
GP. Oh, okay.
So April, March, I started seeing gynaes, but I was like, I need a female gynae.
Yes.
So got a few gynaes. And because they're more clued, because that's what they specialize in, then they have more information, then they start explaining more, and then they would get into details. These are the issues and
And they're all confirming that you definitely have fibroids.
Yes.
And they're big.
Yes.
Okay.
And you definitely have fibroids and they're big. You need to operate.
And take them out.
Okay. But I don't feel comfortable in operating you because of the way they're positioned.
Okay.
I will refer you to someone else.
Okay.
Someone else.
All of them keep saying that.
Yeah, you need an operation, but they are too big, too risky.
Oh my
and
word,
it's
friend.
20% of survival.
What? As in?
Yes.
No, as in 80% chance you die.
Yes, because one small mistake that they can do, it will burst and I will overbleed, and that's the end of me.
How many fibroids did you have?
2.
And just those 2 were big.
Yes. So the one, I can't remember the centimeters part, but the one I think was almost the size of a ruler if you measure 30 centimeters. But it was huge. It was big. Now to a point where whenever I go, you would think that I'm actually 3 months pregnant. And so I got a sense that as much as they would want to help me, I think also no one really wants to have a patient die on them. And the rate of it, 80-20%.
That's a high chance.
But I was like, there's no way I'm going to.
Because then also what they're saying is you can't have kids with those things in there.
Yes.
So you have to take them out.
Yes.
Okay.
If I want to have kids. But also when they give me options, so there's 2 types of operations that you can have. Hysterectomy or myectomy.
Yes.
One is you can take and remove everything.
The whole womb, yes.
So majority of them will be saying it's easier to just remove the womb.
You young, you haven't had oh my word.
So
but on the other hand, you just like also my life.
Yeah.
Because you can't just keep them in there.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I need to have an operation, but I could die. Like I could be dying, and if I don't die, I won't have kids. Like either way, my life won't be the same. And so we decided, let's go the homeopathic route. Okay. Her scan is not really your normal scan. She has the normal scan that other doctors have, and she has cords of things where they attach you to joints and whatever, just so that they can be able to everywhere where you feel pain. So they would put it in my womb and put it in my whatever to check my blood cells, which blood cells are more active, which one, what food, blood type and all of those things, to try and see where did this come from, and how to best help me. Do I really not have female hormones or whatever the case might be? Then he said to me, there is a way where you can manage it, but because I'm not a gynae, I can't really say whatever, but I can help you through your journey to try and see if I can take away the symptoms. So whatever happens, so that you can be able to live a normal life without the headaches, without the pains, without the whatever, and you just need to detox your body, because your body is full of medication. You're making things worse, so you're going to end up being dependent. All those multivitamins that you're taking, they actually you can get those things in the type of food that you eat. But I was like, no,
because it's new, it's not what you're used to hearing.
Yes.
And sorry guys, for somebody that obviously struggles with endometriosis, your cases are not going to be the same. So please don't watch this and say, I watched and Thenji said I mustn't take vitamins, or I must
no.
This was her journey, and she was trying to figure out the best way. And obviously she went to the doctor, it wasn't working. So this is just her journey of finding out.
So that was my journey. So I became more open-minded in natural ways of restoring my body into at least living a normal life.
Okay.
Although we're not really dealing with the fibroids now, but they're there. But I need to have a normal life.
So what does a natural way look like? So was it changing your diet?
It was basically changing my diet. It says all the tablets that you're taking, whatever, just make sure, guys, water. When they say drink lots of water, they're not lying. When they say 3 liters, 2 liters of water, they're really not lying. When they say food is medicine, I testify that food is medicine to a point where I'm very sensitive, or I guard what I eat. And so he gave me like this program to say, okay, listen, try and avoid dairy stuff.
Okay.
You need to eat, because I would also be constipated to a point where I wouldn't even sit down. I would be bloated. It would be so bad. It's like you need to avoid anything that has to do with gluten. I was like, what?
That's all the nice things.
So I'm like, to me, gluten, I'm like, what do you mean gluten? It's like, is it pasta, rice, bread?
One to the
processed food, like burgers, stop processed food, red meat. I was like, what? Red meat? It's like, avoid red meat, eat lots of fruits and vegetables.
But at this point, you're desperate.
I'm desperate.
Listen,
I'm desperate. And I'm thinking like, my husband is judging me. I'm just like, my husband is vegetarian. Like,
go let's eat. Go let's eat. Wanna know?
And like, when we started dating, I used to say, don't think you ever make me change. It's like, I mean, it's whatever. It's like, I'm not gonna say. So it's like, pork is the worst. Red meat is the worst.
Oh my word.
I need to omega supplement that I'm taking. I can get it
from fish.
From fish. I just need to have fish. I'm like, but fish is expensive. Like, you can just have tuna, especially tuna and sardines. They like, that's the best source of it.
Okay.
Eat whole grains. Just avoid you. I'm like, how, like rice is your everyday food. So I started looking at more things that my husband was eating. So I started substituting brown rice.
And did you cut out everything slowly, or you just went all like,
for me, she said, I must, because my body is used to that, I must slow gradually.
Okay.
But I was like, listen, I just literally cut off everything. I stopped eating. He said, if you have to eat red meat, just try and eat organic lamb. That would be your only
how much
option. Exactly. So I looked at organic lamb and it was quite expensive. It was quite expensive. So I literally changed my diet. I started eating more of what my husband was eating. I ate lots of veggies and fruits. I stopped eating chocolates. I stopped fizzy drinks. Although I have never been a coffee person, but alcohol is just the worst. I mean, alcohol and caffeine. So I don't drink.
Endometriosis. Because
alcohol.
Sure. Also takes wine.
Listen, imagine you're a wine lover and you're a coffee drinker, because
they're in the same.
They're in the same bracket. So fortunately, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't a coffee person, but I drank a lot of fizzy drinks. It's like, completely stop. If you can, don't even drink juice, just drink water.
Oh my word.
And just try and force yourself to drink water. The more you drink water, you're going to end up being thirsty. Eat lots of seeds. Your flax seeds, they're going to help me with my digestive system. My pumpkin seeds, walnuts, nuts and seeds, basically chia seeds and all those things. Try, and then he said, okay, just if you want to drink something warm, try and drink a lot of herbal teas. Just do herbal teas only.
Wait, and can I just ask, was this meant to be like a lifestyle thing, or just for the flushing out period?
He said flushing out, I must be aggressive.
Okay.
But going back, I can just,
just cheat here and there. Yes. But this was going to be a lifetime.
This was going to be a lifetime thing.
Now let's fast forward. Now you start this thing. How long did it take then for you to feel normal, for the fatigue to stop and the pain?
So it literally took, I think, about 3 months or so.
Sure. And
headaches stopped completely. Pain would come every now and again.
Oh my word.
Even when we had intercourse, or
yeah,
if I should call it
intercourse,
sex or whatever. Yeah, do the you know, we would find ways of, you know, because the fibroids are still there, so even the positioning, you need to be creative.
Your husband must just not watch this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, friends.
Yeah, wow. Sorry, happy.
Because it gets that bad.
It gets that bad. Yo. So he's also uncomfortable because he's thinking he's hurting me. Yes. So now I need to be Kizoro, Superwoman.
Guys, please communicate.
Listen, I needed to save the marriage. I wanted to be there. I was like, I want to be, you know. Yeah, and I mean, we're still newlyweds.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, so before we get into pregnancy and babies, right? I know you mentioned that you didn't realize that, because a lot of people believe it's hereditary.
Yes.
Right? So you didn't realize, or only when you thought back, your mom had it.
Yes.
Or can you explain a bit more about that?
So later in life, I realized actually, and the more you try to inform yourself, the more you actually recall to say, actually, my mother had similar issues.
Sure.
And she used to, I mean, at 40 something, she would like literally bleed a lot, to a point where whenever she's on periods, it would be like 7 days, like well over a week. And sometimes the first 3 days she wouldn't even go anywhere because she's worried that she
was bleeding that much
to a point where she gets tired, and she's worried that she might be going somewhere, and she constantly needed to change. She might be going somewhere and something might happen. So literally your life is not the same. So you recall back, you actually realize my mother actually had endometriosis.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, even to this day, if I tell people this is what I have, there's like, what is it? I'm like, so many women, it's very, very common.
But that's the thing, I think most of us grow up with this thing now where your periods are supposed to be this excruciating thing, and that you're told that, okay, yeah, obviously not everybody will go on the period for as long, right? But it's almost like this is normal.
It's not really normal, but because it's so common, and yet there's no awareness. I don't know why there's no awareness, like your cancer. Not taking away anything from cancer, but it's just as severe because you could lose your life. And it's something that you live with, because there's no cure for it, basically. So you sort of like need to find where there's literally no awareness. I had to find information myself, and later on when I was diagnosed, even much later, we just thought, my sister as well. My sister, whenever she had her periods, to a point where she works, they've got a clinic. There was a time where she would need to go and get, what's that Voltaren? What was that?
Yeah, Voltaren.
Yes, that.
It's a pain medication, basically.
Yeah, so
because it would be that severe. It would be
that bad, to a point where she literally kneels. So sometimes, when we were growing up, she would even vomit from period pains and all that. So you don't really realize that this is what you have. And I think, well, that's my theory. Don't quote me or anything. I feel like if you were to know about it at a young age, maybe there's no cure for it, but if you're informed, you might be able to take care of
yourself better.
Debatably so, because majority, I was still taking care of myself and I still had it. But you would be deliberate about things that you do and things that you eat, and perhaps if you wouldn't have that be at that point to say, let me wait until I get married to have kids, or whatever the case, whatever you decide, you would make an informed decision because you know what you have. And I mean, girl children, I think they should know, when they start their periods, they should be informed to say,
this is a possibility.
This is a possibility.
And I think it's such a key thing, because I feel like we ignore what our body tells us. Like, your body tells you that there is something wrong. But definitely. I think we're so used to like, no, man, I'm being dramatic, or this is not as bad. So I would really advise, if you've heard the symptoms that Thenji was talking about, I don't think they'll be identical for everyone. Do your research, and even if it means once thing, so that you check out your body and check what is happening before things. I mean, I mean, you guys will hear Thenji's journey was in terms of pregnancies and babies. I would hate for anyone to get to that point.
Yes.
So anyway, fast forwards, guys. Sorry, this is a very long video. I want it to be informative because I'm learning, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are learning as well that have never heard of it. So now fast forward. Okay, so now your body is
like slowly getting up detox and whatever,
and all of that.
Cleanse colon, done all of those things.
You've changed your eating, all of that.
Here's an interesting thing. I don't have female hormones.
Yes.
And I'll never get pregnant. Boom, I miss my periods.
Sure.
And I'm just tired all the time. I just say to Mobi, I think I'm pregnant. Mobi's like, it's not like you've been pregnant before. I'm like, I'm pregnant. So I went and bought, like I've never been pregnant before. I went and bought a pregnancy test. Boom, it's positive.
So, pregnant. So obviously now your female hormones
suddenly are working.
Yes.
And I want to go to that doctor and I'm like, why did you say that? You're not there. I don't know. So I went to...
Also, guys, I just want to add, and you'll hear, especially more so, doctors are not gods.
Yeah.
If you can get as many consultations as you want, they act and they speak as if that's about everything.
Yes.
They really don't.
Yes.
And this was born. She was not supposed to have babies, but here she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to them, but I go to the doctor first, and doctor confirms pregnancy. He says, but you need to go do blood test.
How many weeks were you? Oh, okay.
I don't
you didn't know. Okay.
So you need to go to the doctor. I go to Durban. First day, second day, third day. Doctor keeps calling me. This missed call. I'm in a training. I listen to a voice note. Already during the day, I'm not feeling too well. I'm just tired. I'm thinking, maybe it's just
part of pregnancy.
Yeah, it's part of pregnancy, whatever. I read and whatever, but I'm feeling like there's a bit of discharge. I'm like, okay, it's normal. So I get to the hotel. I listen to my voice message. This doctor is saying, hi, I'm not sure where you are. I've been trying to get hold of you. I thought I should call you myself instead of my PA.
Yeah.
Because we saw something not abnormal in the test. It shows that I think you are 8 weeks pregnant, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
However, the blood numbers, what do you call that? I forgot what you call the blood count.
Yes.
Shows that I am 2 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
Therefore, unfortunately, you're going to miscarry. You should
my
experience
word.
a miscarriage. I was like, what the?
Oh my word.
I'm all alone in Durban. And I don't know if it's all in the mind, but I had already, during the day, I already felt a bit of a discomfort. And the brown discharge was happening there.
Yeah.
So I called my husband. I'm like, this is what's happening.
That's what the doctor said.
Expect a miscarriage if I haven't started by now. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I just need to let it happen naturally and just relax. And I must call in to see. I'm panicking. I'm in Durban. I'm alone. And then, to cut the story short, miscarriage happened. Excuse me, fast forward to, and then I came back. I was like, okay, very painful, very sad, very emotional.
And you're excited because then...
It's like... Yes. So now I went to the doctor on Wednesday. Friday, I found out I was pregnant on Wednesday. Friday, I went to the doctor, then went to do the test. Monday, I'm going to Durban. Tuesday, like my pregnancy was short-lived. Tuesday, I'm finding out that this is what's
miscarried.
So, coming back, painful, very emotional, don't know what's going on, asking God, why would you do this? But, so my husband says, but hang on, there's a light to this. Remember
that you weren't supposed to fall pregnant. So we're going to end this video here. But at this point now, have they said to you, if you want to fall pregnant, you need to take these things out? Nobody has said this.
So when I go to the doctor for consultation, doctor says, listen, this is what's happening. Then he explains to me to say, chances are, so I said, but now I don't have female hormones. He says, as far as I'm concerned, you wouldn't be pregnant
if you didn't have
if the test showed at that time, you must have done something wrong, something right to actually balance your hormones. Although they're not balanced, but they're at a level where you can fall pregnant. But the problem is keeping the pregnancy because your fibroids they feed into the progesterone hormones. So
and the baby needs that.
And the baby needs that. So what it does, all those nutrients are supposed to go to the baby. They literally eat them, like they literally, and so that's what happened. So all there's not enough nutrients going into my thing. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? He suggested, okay, not an expert, but I'd suggest that you see a gynae. So I was like, I want a female gynae.
Yeah.
And fortunately enough, because of the results that I'd gotten, I literally felt so strong about a homeopathic ways. Yes. And I was like, okay, fine. There has to be a medical doctor that's also into homeopath. So who understand natural ways, but also who's clued up in terms of the science part of it, because the more I learned and the more I tried to inform myself, I realized that I need both.
Okay. So guys, so I think we've reached the end of the endometriosis part.
Not quite.
Okay. We've for this video. But we're going to do a part 2, right? And if you want to obviously hear more of Thenji's journey in terms of falling pregnant and how that journey was, please watch the second video. But this video, I really hope that if you are a female and you can share, and like, you know, some of the stuff that she was saying, like, oh my gosh, didn't know my period pains are bad. I hope that this was a very helpful video. And listen to your body. Please check it out.
And everyone is different. I just need to mention that everyone is different and situations are different.
Yeah.
And the level of everything is different.
It's different. Yeah. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? So even if your obviously experience is not as severe, it's still something to note. And yeah, we basically need to take care of it. But thank you so much, friend, for sharing your journey. I really hope that it helps the women out there. If you're struggling with endometriosis, please comment down below. You guys know I love hearing from you. So yeah, don't forget, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love. Bye guys.